Hey guys, Hangman Swingset here, and I am back with Pokemon videos again. It's been quite a while. Basically, I'm using a similar method to what I was using before, but now it's in super high quality, and I think it looks really good. So here we go. All right, so I send out a Smeargle and a Farfetch'd. My strategy is you'll see it. You'll see it. It's gonna be pretty fun. They have the Gorgeist and the Weavile. I'm sitting here thinking, man, that Weavile is gonna fake out the shit out of my Smeargle, and it goes for the Swords Dance. I'm kind of confused as to why, but I get off the Dark Void, which is really nice because I really wanted that Weavile out because Weavile kind of shits on my parade. I don't know who would shit on a parade, but that Weavile would. That's who would. So I get the Simple Beam on Smeargle, and the Gorgeist had Frisk, so they should have known what I was doing. They saw that I had the Power Herb on the Smeargle, so Smeargle goes for the Geomancy, and because Power Herb, it's gonna give me a bunch of stats. We know this strategy already, all right? So I get +4 on special attack and special defense and speed. And speaking of speed, I do apologize if it's too fast or too slow in spots. The method I'm using kind of doesn't play very well with a lot of that stuff. So I get all these stats. Farfetch'd, I decide I'm going to Simple Beam the Gourgeist because for some reason I was thinking it was Insomnia. I don't know. Can't even remember if Gourgeist even gets Insomnia. Pretty sure it does. But anyways, I did that anyways, just in case I needed to lay down another Dark Void. It gets the Leech Seed on my Smeargle, which doesn't really matter that much at all. Weavile stays asleep. Gourgeist takes a little bit of my HP, and like I said, doesn't really matter. And Smeargle gets off the Cotton Guard, which, stacked with Simple, gives me +6, which maxes out my defense in one turn. It's ridiculous. Farfetch'd gets the Psych Up, which is great because I love having Farfetch'd just steamroll the shit out of everything. The Seed Bomb doesn't really do much at all. Weavile stays asleep. So lose a little bit more from the Leech Seed, and I always thought Leech Seed passed over with Baton Pass for some reason. I was thinking it was like Aqua Ring, because I don't know if it still does, but it used to. You used to be able to Baton Pass an Aqua Ring over, which is kind of funny. If you Baton Pass over to a Fire type, then it's like you're healing with water, but you're weak to water. So I Baton Pass over to Sunflora. Now, this Sunflora, it's timid. Solar Power, of course, because I have the Ninetales in my team. And I have an Assault Vest on it, just because, you're getting all these boosts from Geomancy and Cotton Guard. And I figured, might as well put the Assault Vest on there. Why not make it tankier? So Weavile finally wakes up, Ice Sharts on me, and look how much damage that does. That's actually quite a lot. That's a 3-hit 3-shot right there. So Sunflora gets the Earth Power off on the Infernape, which is really good because super effective damage and one-shots like a boss. Like a sunny, flory, bossy wassy. Just forget I ever said that, please, okay? Sorry. So yeah, I get the Farfetch'd and the Sunflora. I mean, that's a combo you don't really see ever, and it's really not that good unless you do stuff like what I'm doing. And like, my honest opinion, people don't expect it. So they sit there and kind of underestimate. They're like, this person's running a Farfetch'd. I could take that extra Swords Dance. That'd be cool. I could get that extra Dragon Dance. I'm going to be stronger. It doesn't work that way. Trust me, guys. I get the Giga Drain off on the Starmie, which gets a ton of HP back. Sunflora gives the sludge bomb going on. So that right there reveals my whole move set. I've got the Giga Drain, Earth Power, Sludge Bomb, and Solar Beam for when Ninetales is out. You can see Ninetales on the screen there. But yeah, that's the first battle. The second battle here, this one's funny. I love this. So, slight little glitch there with the recording method. Sorry about that. So they get the Vileplume and the Illumies, and I'm like, oh, that has Prankster, and Prankster's bad. But it gets the Swagger on the Smeargle, and most everybody knows that Smeargle has own tempo. I mean, yeah, it does have Technician and what's it? Moody. It has Moody. People use that for some reason. I don't like Moody. I'm gonna get stats my own way, but personally, just Moody isn't really my thing. So I get the Dark Void off on both, which is phenomenal. I mean, that's how I win. I get the Simple Beam off on Smeargle, and shit goes downhill for them from here. They stay asleep, which is absolutely unfortunate. Smeargle, I'm pretty sure I get the Cotton Guard right here, like before. Oh no, this is the Geomancy turn. Dude. So yeah, I get the Geomancy off, the Power Herb, 1 turn, +4/+4/+4. It's ridiculous. It's too much power at once. I do have on the team Xatu. I just don't use it that much. Xatu gets the Magic Bounce, which is always helpful. It gets the Stored Power, which is just crazy. It gets the Simple Beam, and I can't remember what the fourth move on it was. But I get the Simple Beam off on Illumies, which gets rid of that Prankster. Prankster is bad. Prankster does not play nice with this team. Now Smeargle gets the Cotton Guard, which, like I said before, that's the +6 on 1 turn. That's just, you're not killing it. And if you do kill it, you're getting a crit. But don't worry, I'm the one getting the crits, because Farfetch'd with the Air Cutter. Yes, I'm running a special Farfetch'd. Alright, I got the Air Cutter on there because it hits both opponents and has an increased critical hit ratio. And in 6th gen with the mechanics of critical hits, with the stick and an increased critical hit ratio move, you crit 100% of the time. So I'm getting the Mad Crits, which is doing a shit ton. It one-shots the Vileplume, which is understandable. I mean, super effective damage. The Illumi's protected, which is a dick move, honestly. And then the Garchomp comes out, and I'm like, oh, I could eat a Stone Edge, but it has that high crit ratio. I really don't like that. They come out with the Ninetales, which is really weird because it's not a Drought Ninetales, it's a Flash Fire. You don't see Flash Fire Ninetales ever. Mine is Drought, obviously, because solar power, but the Flash Fire, why? I just don't understand. I get the Air Cutter off. It doesn't do anything to the Garchomp because he protected, and then it's a very healthy 2-shot on the Ninetales, and I only have the 2 boost or the +4 on the special attack. Smeargle's stuck in the Encore, and I forgot to mention this, but that Encore was just a bitch. Like, Smeargle just sits there and just Cotton Guards the whole time, and you get the +6 on the first turn, you use it, and it's useless after that. But it doesn't really matter because the Farfetch'd is actually doing all the work, and in a double battle, Farfetch'd doing all the work, it's just kind of crazy to see. That Rock Slide did nothing. That is like nothing right there. Garchomp gets the Protect off again, which I wanted it to die. Illumies gets the Encore again. I'm sitting here like, yay, I'm gonna get my Baton Pass finally for my Sunflora. But no, Illumies has to shit on me. And Air Cutter hits Illumies really hard. Garchomp protected, if I'm not mistaken. Is this the turn Garchomp protected, or is this the one that took a ton of damage? Either way, they're both it's just like Ninetales. It's a really good healthy two-shot. Loomis gets the swagger on Farfetch'd, which is just like, oh no, please don't. I really need this. I need my Farfetch'd. I can't get my baton pass off, so I absolutely need that Farfetch'd. So Air Cutter, I break through the confusion. Air Cutter doesn't kill the Illumis because Protect, but it does get rid of Garchomp, which saved my ass. The Rock Slides, they don't really hurt that much, but just in case it was secretly packing that Stone Edge, I didn't want to eat a crit. And yeah, that's really the only thing. I didn't want to eat a crit. You don't want to eat crits all day unless you're a Loomis, which deserves crits all day and every day. It gets another Encore on Smeargle. It's like, come on, dude. Leave it alone. It's not doing anything. It's just sitting there cotton guarding for nothing. And then I finally get the Air Cutter off. Finally. And get the knockout and critical hit, of course, because 100% of the time. But yeah, that's the second battle. That was actually a pretty fun one. I do like seeing Vileplume, but this battle right here, this is the fun. You see, there's a Lugia and an Arceus, and only to be presumed a Mega Gardevoir, and it's the shiny Arceus from that Japanese event. Which I have one. It's just like a terrible nature. It's probably hacked. I don't know. I don't care. I'm not going to use it. So it does actually what seems like the smart move and gets the Will-O-Wisp on the Farfetch'd, because Farfetch'd is usually a physical attacker. It's like 15 base different or something like that. I can't quite remember. But luckily mine is special. Nobody expects that. And Simple Beam on the Smeargle, just like usual. Gets rid of that own tempo, which I'm glad I didn't get the Simple Beam off on the Smeargle before that swagger happened in the last one, because that could have been bad. Not like Smeargle really did much of anything anyways, but I wouldn't have been able to get my stat boost for Farfetch'd, and it really would have gone a very different way in case I hit myself in confusion. So I get the Geomancy off. This Arceus, like I watched this battle a couple times trying to figure out what the hell was going on. And this Arceus is just like a pure boosting Arceus. And I'm sitting here, I'm just like, what is he doing? What is that? The Audino just spent too much time asleep to do anything useful. I think it was a Simple Beam concept too. Now that I really think of it, I might go back and rebattle this and see if it is the Simple Beam, because if it is, that's what it's doing. The Arceus is just boosting and then doing something with it. We'll see what's going on here. And then I get the Air Cutter, and that Air Cutter does a lot of damage on the Audino. That's like, Audino's pretty bulky, so I don't understand how it did that much, but I'm okay with that. It was a crit, but I mean, I always crit, so that works out. Smeargle takes a little bit of that burn damage, and Farfetch'd does too, and it's starting to rack up, and I don't like that. So Smeargle gets off the baton pass. As we all know, that's going straight over to Sunflora. This team, I do also run Ampharos, Mega Ampharos, and that's literally just for like Kyogres, although Sunflora can handle that with a nice Giga Drain to the face. Would let's see, I've got the plus 4 on special attack. Yeah, that should one shot a Kyogre. I have not tested it yet though, so we will find out pretty soon. Like that burn damage is really racking up on Farfetch'd. So they send out the Lugia, and this is the problem. This fat bastard. It's got the pressure, so I'm like, I don't really want to run out of PP, so you don't get that anymore. I don't understand why it's not running the multi-scale, because the multi-scale would make sense. That's if you're passing over a bunch of boosts to it, you wanna get that first hit to just do nothing. So we'll see. Farfetch'd gets the roost, which I don't think they really expected. And honestly, this team is basically mine, except it's using Ubers. I'm using Farfetch'd and Sunflora. And, guess who wins? Anyways, the double team keeps happening. That's super fun, super nice to see. Not really. Lugia gets a hyper voice, and it's like, I'm sitting here like, why does Lugia have hyper voice? What kind of set is this? You don't have the multi-scale. You don't have, a better move. I don't know what you're doing. So I just barely miss out on the kill on the Arceus right there, which made me really bad. The cosmic powers are happening, but it's pointless at this stage of the game. That Giga Drain missed. I really wish that Giga Drain didn't miss. The Lugia does the Psych Up, which I've been waiting for. For so long, but it gets the Arceus. I'm sitting here, you've seen my stat boosts, guy, and you're sitting here not taking mine. That would have been the first thing I came in and did. I would have just, oh, you have +4, +4, +4. Let's take that. I'm gonna have fun with it. But they were, honestly, I think they knew what they were doing. It's just they had their strategy too far ingrained. They were just following their own paces. They weren't taking the situation into account. They were just kind of just doing what they always do, which is honestly what I do. I'm a little bit more adaptable than that, because I usually take my risks. Like, there's been times, my old Sunflora, when I would just use Leaf Storm and lock myself into Leaf Storm with choice specs. And even though I knew I might not get the next kill, just because, like, that's my only chance, I could lock myself into something that doesn't do shit, or something that might do shit but might not at the same time. And that worked out. Farfetch'd gets off the air cutter. That Mega Gardevoir came out, and I'm just like, I'm too set up. I'm not worried about you anymore. So I get the Sludge Bomb on it, and it's super effective. And I for some reason, I thought Psychic resisted poison type moves. But anyways, Lugia gets off the roost, and I'm just like, oh no, this thing's gonna be so impossible to kill. I was sitting here, I'm hoping, because he could still take my stat boosts. He could still Psych Up on Sunflora or Farfetch'd. They have the same boosts. And they actually forfeit right there, because I still have everything in play. I'm not worried about that. So yeah, that's it. If you enjoyed the video, just go ahead and give it a like, give it a share. I've been working on this new technique. Googling it, it's not too hard to Google for it. I might make a video tutorial on how to do it, but I might not. So we'll see about that. It's kind of close to Sun and Moon, and I really don't want to do something so close that's not gonna matter, because I did that back in Black and White. I made videos like this back then, and I never made the tutorial because it was just so close. X and Y had just been announced, and I might make it because it might work with Sun and Moon, but we'll see. Anyways, have fun, guys. Have a good day or good night or whatever it is you're doing. Keep a smile on your face and have a wonderful life.